What if a leader, one of the powerful politicians on earth, steps off a plane into New York City and gets arrested? Sounds impossible? Or perhaps historic? Well, according to New York's newly elected mayor, that's exactly what could happen to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Stay tuned, because this story gets more controversial, more legal, and more politically explosive than you might think. Can an American city really enforce an international arrest warrant? Don't miss what's coming next. Newly elected New York City Mayor Zohar Mamdani has shaken up the global political scene. In a live broadcast on ABC7, Mamdani declared that if Benjamin Netanyahu enters New York City, he will face arrest, based on an International Criminal Court (ICC) warrant issued for alleged war crimes in Gaza and genocide in Gaza. Mamdani stated, "New York is a city of international law. That means we uphold those laws even when it involves powerful world leaders." The ICC warrant issued in 2024 accuses Netanyahu of deliberate attacks on civilians in Gaza and even alleges the use of starvation as a weapon of war, one of the gravest crimes recognized under international law. This statement has left millions questioning, is it just political rhetoric or a real legal possibility? But wait, can an American city really arrest a foreign leader under international law? The answer is complicated. Here's where things get legally complex. The United States is not a signatory to the ICC treaty. That means the U.S. is not legally bound to enforce ICC arrest warrants, including against Benjamin Netanyahu. So how can Mamdani claim he would arrest Netanyahu in New York? Mamdani argues that local legal principles, combined with international law recognition inside New York City, might allow such an action, especially if Netanyahu enters a jurisdiction where ICC statutes are acknowledged. In an earlier interview on Fox News, before winning the election, Mamdani made it clear, "If the law allows me, I will enforce it. I will not create new laws, I will work within existing ones." Unlike former President Donald Trump, whom Mamdani criticized, he insists he will not bypass legal frameworks, but instead explore all lawful options already available. Legal experts say it's highly unlikely that the U.S. government would allow any city to arrest a foreign head of state, especially from a close ally. But Mamdani's statement has sparked a debate on how far international law can reach, even inside the United States. But what triggered this intense political moment? A surprising meeting set all of this in motion. While the ICC warrant has been making headlines globally, this controversy intensified after a diplomatic visit. Outgoing New York Mayor Eric Adams traveled to Israel and met directly with Benjamin Netanyahu. During the meeting, Adams reportedly invited Netanyahu to attend the swearing-in ceremony of the new mayor, Zohar Mamdani. That's when Mamdani publicly responded with a dramatic and unexpected statement. If Netanyahu comes to New York, the ICC arrest warrant still applies here, and we must uphold it. This moment transformed a legal debate into a global political storm. Supporters praised Mamdani's strong stance on international justice and human rights, while critics accused him of being reckless, politically motivated, or violating U.S. diplomatic norms. But what are the actual charges Netanyahu is facing internationally? Let's break it down clearly. The ICC's arrest warrant against Netanyahu includes serious allegations: war crimes in Gaza, targeting civilian populations intentionally, using starvation as a war tactic, blocking humanitarian aid. These actions fall under Article 7 and Article 8 of the Rome Statute, which classify them as crimes against humanity. Netanyahu has strongly rejected these allegations, claiming Israel's actions are self-defense against Hamas and that the ICC is politically biased. Israel, like the United States, is also not an ICC member, and both countries deny ICC jurisdiction. But despite that, ICC warrants are recognized in 123 countries, including many European nations. That means if Netanyahu travels to those countries, he could theoretically be detained. But is Mamdani serious, or is this just political theater to gain global attention? Zohar Mamdani has long been known for his activism on global justice and human rights issues. He calls New York a city of international law, emphasizing that holding leaders accountable should not depend on their political power. However, critics argue Mamdani is using this moment to gain international attention and strengthen his political base, especially among progressive voters. At the same time, while challenging Netanyahu, he also criticized former President Donald Trump, stating, "I am not like Donald Trump. I will not invent laws. I will work within existing ones." This suggests that Mamdani wants to present himself as lawful, disciplined, and justice-driven, rather than radical. But one fact remains. This is the first time a U.S. city mayor has openly suggested arresting the leader of a close American ally. But how are world leaders reacting? Could this really affect Netanyahu's future travel or diplomatic visits? Stick around. Will Netanyahu still travel to the United States, especially to New York? Experts say it's unlikely that federal authorities would allow any detention to take place. Diplomatic immunity, federal laws, and political alliances make such an arrest almost impossible. However, the symbolism is powerful. Mamdani's statement has already intensified global debates about accountability for war crimes, the power of international law, and whether world leaders can be held responsible regardless of their status. While Netanyahu may never be arrested in New York City, the fact that this discussion is even happening in America has sent shockwaves across global political and legal circles. So, here's the burning question. Is this the beginning of a new era where even the most powerful world leaders can be held accountable? Or is it just political drama, loud words with no real legal impact? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like the video, comment your views below, subscribe for more real-time political updates and deep analysis. Your voice matters. This isn't news. It's history unfolding.